Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Breakfast with Jerm. Welcome back to another season. This is a sneak preview for you. All right. I am here in my 57 square foot office at Cohatch in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. My home since 2017. 8 years now. I came here to get some coffee. There's some coffee in the coffee pot, the coffee carafe. It was cold, but still good. I haven't made nobody's made coffee yet today, but there was a tip tray out for gratuity and gratitude in the form of cash money dollars for the wonderful person or people who make coffee during every business day here at Cohatch. I came here specifically to get coffee because I woke up 8 o'clock. I was up ready to go. It's 45 degrees here. So we didn't take much of a dog walk. It's only bad when it's windy. The wind just numbs my skin, starts creeping in to my core. That's why I like Florida usually. Although it was 70 some degrees on Christmas Day. I was sweating. The sun was so bright when we went out for our Christmas Day walk. We washed the dog at the dog park, and I think that was the day after Christmas, and then went to our favorite eating spot, me and the kids and the dog. The sun was shining and it felt like it could have been a summer day somewhere else, but it's winter here, but that's okay. But now it's getting into the 40s and I can't wear shorts. And wearing pants doesn't really do that much against the wind. So I'm just happy to be able to come in here, sit at my desk, my bookshelf, and my notepad, and drink a cold cup of coffee, yesterday's coffee. It's good. It's coffee from the donut place, Parlor Donuts. find out where they get their coffee. Coffee origins is something that I've been interested in since I worked at Starbucks, and I learned that coffee comes from different places and has different profiles and different degrees of sustainability and all that. Different flavor profiles, I mean. Just like a regular cup while I'm working. It's just a habit, really. Speaking of habits, I'm here not just to flap the old gums, but also to go through some note cards that I've written. Some I wrote at home at my apartment over the holiday break. I took a week off from coming here, and that was a good decision. The thoughts, start to flow, and having note cards handy to capture ideas is still important. You can do that at home or anywhere. I shouldn't be. Okay, yeah. I'm fidgeting, making noise with a pencil while I'm pitching the most important aspect of the process, the note cards. So it's just it's new. It's new yet familiar for me. I'm still getting used to using note cards, but it's been really good. I've captured a lot of ideas. Here in my messenger bag, in addition to the chromatic, Mod Retro chromatic Game Boy Color, I've got a bunch of note cards that I have a bunch on the counter. I just grab one. I have different sizes for different types of notes, which is optional. But the 3x5 and the 4x6, and I even have 5x8 at home, but I have not implemented those yet. But I will. I have something fun that I'm going to do with 5x8 cards in a card box. That is tabletop gaming related. It's going to be my own hybrid tabletop gaming system with cards. And that's going to be really cool. That I will hopefully develop in the coming year. That's the main thing I'm going to be developing. Oh, this past year is crazy. It was a big adjustment for me. I feel like everything is set and it's time to really get to work on creative projects, writing projects, process, my own niche process writing. And that's going to be exciting. Systematic writing is the title of the book that I'm working on. If I could have it done by Valentine's Day, that would be sweet. And then you know what I'll do? I will create a special Valentine's Day promo page with a limited time offer. Limited time offers are classic marketing strategy, and a only pay for shipping and a money back guarantee, which means since you only paid for shipping, when you get money back, I'll basically be paying you to have ordered a book and flipped through it and decided it wasn't for you. But really, who's going to do that? Because anybody can benefit from writing systematically and using note cards to think on paper. That's why I'm willing to make a crazy guarantee, because, well, nobody does that anymore. That's more of an infomercial in the 80s and 90s thing. as far as I'm concerned. But it's coming. I'm bringing it back. I got the idea from Scott Shepper, marketing guru, founder of Green Lamp and Right to Freedom. The whole reason that I got into this note card world that's really transformed my writing process and thinking process was because I read the book Anti-Net Zettelkasten. Right here. As a creative writing and systems engineering student, it's fascinating to me. And I learned to write on note cards for organization in high school, my senior year of high school. And I did it and it worked. And then for some reason I started just using apps and software and all of that crap. Digital stuff has an inverse relationship with actually creating quality and original work, in my opinion. And I've tried every method to write on the computer, and it's always more of a blocker than it is a tool. So this year that I've spent writing ideas on note cards has really been instrumental. I stopped taking my ADHD medicine, guanfacine, not by choice, mind you, because the insurance company told me that the medication that the regimen that I've worked with a psychiatrist for about 5 years to figure out is not actually necessary. And maybe they're onto something, Why should I take a pill that makes my brain more normal? I did the work of creating a life that facilitates me working to my strengths. So at this point, I don't even mind that I was denied a prescription for medication that I've used for years to help me with both focus and blood pressure management. See, that's where the problem comes in. One solution to two, or one treatment to two problems, and from two different medical disciplines, and that's a big no-no. You got to be more compartmentalized to get healthcare in America these days. But I'm trying to be holistic, which is just another word for hybrid, and trying to think about the big picture. It actually was good to get that off my chest. It was really bugging me. And I don't think anybody will notice a difference, but I notice a difference in my brain and my mind. But through my entire life that I tried to write and was able to successfully write by thinking my thoughts and then writing them down on paper, kind of getting a stream of consciousness going, and a recording, inner voice, transforming my inner voice to words on the page that other people could read and relate to, I suppose. That's the kind of writing that I like. That's what I enjoyed reading in the analog era of newspapers, when I would read the column sections of the Miami Herald, mainly because Dave Barry was in there. You'd always get a weekly dose of toilet jokes. So great thing as a teen to have a humor column, columnist writing in your city about things that are relevant and toilets. You know, one time I worked a graduation as the photographer for the University of Miami, where Dave Barry and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson were both awarded honorary communications degrees, master's degree in communications. That was the best commencement ceremony that I've ever worked at in my time as a graduation photographer. Was the commencement speech by The Rock and Dave Barry, back to back. That was awesome. But of course the lead photographers, at the time I was the newbie, they didn't let me do the promo or PR photos, so I didn't get to meet Dave Barry or The Rock or take their picture up close. I just had to stand there and do the, student photography, the pictures of all the students. Such is life. That was in about 2006, before I moved to Austin. Maybe it's 2005. Well, information would be online for anybody who cared. The year Dave Barry and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson were awarded a honorary Masters of Communication degree by University of Miami. Good times. I'm really tired. So yeah, I woke up 8 o'clock, was ready to get out of the house, but it was too cold to walk the dog yet. So I walked over to Prest, my favorite coffee and bookstore, and had a latte. Listened to their tunes on their radio. Saw my friend, person who knows my drink order, which is nice, always nice. When the people working there know being a regular somewhere is nice, especially when it's a bookstore, a book and coffee shop that is cozy like a living room. That's good. So I drank my espresso first thing in the morning. So here, almost at the end of my official breakfast time, I am tired and ready for a nap. So what I had planned to do was to go through some of my cards and riff on that stuff. But I think I'm actually going to keep that all to myself, because I don't know what is going into a printed material yet or not. I'm at the point where I have a couple threads going. A couple threads in mind. I try to not let ideas stay in my mind for long if I can help it. Goes back to advice from David Allen in the book Getting Things Done, where he's basically like, if you're being productive, why would you have the same thought twice? If you're thinking about something, if you think about something more than once or twice, you should probably just write it down. So that's what I do on note cards sometimes. Sometimes I don't write things down and I just think and worry about them still, like the dog boarding situation, which I actually solved in only a few hours by using an app for finding dog boarding and dog sitting. So, yeah. It's just, that got me thinking about niche marketing and business niches. Again, because it's like some niches, like obvious, or like transportation services, people who can drive you around, people who can watch your dogs, people who can watch your kids, people who can bring you food. Those niches are just jam-packed with people willing and able to do that on the apps. That it really drives the price down. It keeps the prices low for those services. But if you didn't know about the app, you could be end up paying 10 times more if you just like do a web search for something and end up getting funneled into the website of the person who is able to pay the most to acquire clients and also charges the most. But different strokes for different folks, I guess you could say, as we used to say in the early 80s. Different Strokes show starring Gary Coleman. In case you didn't know, look it up, because you'll see Gary Coleman is credited in a movie that I co-directed, and that's just a fun fact that I really appreciate about my life, and I don't talk about it as much as I could. The time I met Gary Coleman at E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo in 2003, I took a picture with him where he looks really awkward because I got my arm around him. The late great Gary Coleman. So the dog boarding situation that I spent weeks, if not months, worrying about, I resolved in 4 little steps that I wrote down on a 3x5 note card as part of my Getting Things Done 3x5 system. GTD 3.5, 3x5. Getting Things Done system translated to 3x5 cards. I keep wanting to say 3.5 because GTD 3x5 is my riff on D&D 3.5, the 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons that a lot of people know for being the basis of the Baldur's Gate games and several other games, in addition to being a tabletop role-playing game system. I never played 3.5 edition D&D. I started with 4th edition and then switched. Then the boys and I, the RP boys and I have, at that point, after 4th edition, we started following Monty Cook's other system, Numenera and Cypher system. And so my tabletop RPG 5x8 card system will be heavily influenced by Cypher system. Well, it's 10 o'clock. Breakfast time is over. And all I had was some cold coffee. But I'm only working about a half day today, and then gonna start getting ready for a trip to North Carolina for New Year's. I don't know if how much background noise that created. I just have a habit of being quiet when there's noise. From the time that I edited educational videos that we filmed live at a studio, recorded on DV tapes back in that era. Gosh, that was a lot of work. That was so much work to produce video clips of educational material, educational content that you can do for free now. Anybody can do. But not everybody does well. You know, it helps to have come from a background of where you had to create a product in a way that was more difficult and more time consuming. Because then you know it's a shortcut and what is actually useful use of your time. So it's my final thought for Tuesday, December 30th. Thank you for watching Breakfast with Jerm, Office Edition, here, streamed live here at Cohatch in Lakeland, Florida. Here's the outro music.